Today we're taking a walk down memory lane. Remember those appetizers that were once a hit at parties, family gatherings, and even swanky dinner events, but seem to have vanished from our menus today? Well, we're digging up 6 iconic appetizers that everyone loved, but no one seems to remember anymore. From the 1930s to the 1980s, these appetizers were the life of the party. Number 1, deviled eggs with a retro twist. Deviled eggs have a surprisingly deep history in American cuisine, evolving through the decades with different flavors, presentations, and cultural significance. Originating in ancient Rome, the concept of seasoned stuffed eggs became popular in Europe, before arriving in America in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. By the 1950s and 1960s, deviled eggs were not just a family favorite, but a sign of culinary creativity and status. Housewives often took pride in their unique filling combinations, transforming simple, hard-boiled eggs into bite-sized gourmet treats. Back then, the term deviled referred to the addition of hot or spicy ingredients, like mustard, pepper, or even a touch of paprika. However, the traditional recipe was only a starting point. It was common to find variations that included more adventurous ingredients, such as smoked salmon, olives, capers, horseradish, and Worcestershire sauce. These flavor additions brought a savory, complex twist that set them apart from the plainer versions of today. Each region in the U.S. had its take, with some areas favoring a sweeter taste by adding relish or even a splash of vinegar. Presentation played a significant role, too. In the mid-20th century, the rise of ladies' luncheons and cocktail parties meant that deviled eggs needed to not just taste good, but look appealing. People used special deviled egg plates with ornate designs, and garnishes were thoughtfully added to elevate the visual appeal. These toppings could range from sliced radishes to parsley sprigs, creating a pop of color against the creamy yolk filling. In some circles, the fancier the garnish, the better, with people using truffle shavings, tiny shrimp, or even pimentos to give a touch of elegance and refinement. Deviled eggs also became a staple for their affordability and ease of preparation. They were economical, made with common ingredients found in nearly every household, and could be made in bulk for large gatherings. Moreover, their small size and finger food appeal made them an instant favorite for parties, where guests could pop a whole egg in their mouth without needing utensils. Today, although the classic recipe endures, creative chefs are reviving the retro trend, experimenting with non-traditional ingredients like avocado, sriracha, bacon, crab meat, or even beet juice to create a vibrant pink hue in the whites. While modern versions often lean toward bold, adventurous flavors, the original deviled eggs were cherished for their balance. Creamy, tangy, and mildly spicy, evoking a sense of comfort and nostalgia. Number 2, shrimp cocktail. Shrimp cocktail has a rich history, dating back to the early 20th century when it became a symbol of luxury and sophistication. The dish first gained traction in the United States during the 1920s and 1930s, coinciding with the Jazz Age and Prohibition. It was often served in speakeasies and upscale restaurants as a classy way to start a meal. The presentation in a tall cocktail glass was partly inspired by the Prohibition-era cocktails it resembled, making it feel rebellious and elegant all at once. The sauce itself, a tangy combination of ketchup, horseradish, Worcestershire sauce, lemon juice, and spices, was a revelation at the time. This flavor profile balanced sweetness, spice, and acidity, perfectly complementing the fresh, plump shrimp. It was also one of the first dishes to incorporate seafood in a way that was accessible to Americans far from the coast, thanks to the rise of refrigeration and improved transportation of seafood in the early 20th century. Shrimp cocktail's popularity soared because it was both affordable and exotic, an experience that made everyday people feel like they were indulging in something special. During the 1950s and 1960s, shrimp cocktail maintained its status as a must-have appetizer for dinner parties and formal events. It became associated with mid-century American elegance and glamour. By this point, shrimp cocktail was often seen as a display of affluence. Shrimp was not as widely available as it is today, making it a delicacy reserved for special occasions. Restaurants capitalized on this by adding creative twists to the presentation. Larger-than-life shrimp, hanging over glass bowls, elaborate ice displays, and artistic garnishes of lemon and parsley. Shrimp cocktail wasn't just about the taste, it was about the sensory experience, the dramatic visual appeal, the icy cold shrimp, the fiery kick of the sauce. Unlike today, where it may be served as part of a larger seafood platter or buffet, shrimp cocktail was often the star appetizer, meant to be savored and admired before moving on to the main course. Number 3, cheese balls. Cheese balls, the quintessential party appetizer, found their peak popularity in the 1960s and 70s as a symbol of festive gatherings and social flair. The concept was simple: soft, spreadable cheese mixed with various flavorings, shaped into a ball, and coated in something crunchy or colorful. It was an appetizer designed to be shared, allowing guests to break pieces off with crackers or breadsticks. Their popularity can be attributed to their simplicity, affordability, and versatility, allowing hosts to get creative with ingredients to match any taste or theme. One key reason for their rise was the explosion of processed cheeses like cream cheese, cheddar cheese spreads, and processed cheese blends like Velveeta, which made it easy to shape and flavor the mixture. These cheeses served as a perfect base for any flavor combination, from sweet additions like dried fruits and nuts to savory ones like garlic, Worcestershire sauce, olives, or smoked meats. The exterior coatings were just as varied, with crushed nuts, herbs, dried meats like prosciutto, or even shredded coconut used to create a contrasting texture and appearance. Cheese balls also represented the convenience of make-ahead appetizers. They could be prepared in advance, left to chill in the refrigerator to enhance their flavor, and simply set out right before the party began. This convenience was especially appealing to the working woman of the 1960s and 70s, who sought stylish but easy solutions for entertaining. They were served not only during cocktail hours, but also as part of larger spreads for holidays like Christmas or Thanksgiving, often alongside cured meats, fruits, and vegetables. During their heyday, cheese balls were often centerpieces on party tables, adorned with garnishes like parsley sprigs or pimento-stuffed olives for added flair. They would be presented on fancy trays or even in themed molds for holidays. Think cheese balls shaped like pine cones for Christmas. This allowed hosts to add a personal touch, making each cheese ball unique to the occasion. With the popularity of retro revival recipes today, some modern variations have incorporated flavors like jalapenos, sun-dried tomatoes, and hot sauce to give a contemporary kick. But the classic cheese ball of the 20th century remains an iconic symbol of retro American entertaining. Number 4, pigs in a blanket. Pigs in a blanket gained iconic status as a versatile finger food that could be quickly assembled and served for any occasion. During their peak in the mid-20th century, these bite-sized delights featured sausages or hot dogs wrapped in various doughs, such as buttery crescent rolls or flaky puff pastry. This dish's appeal was its ability to bring together simple ingredients in a comforting, shareable form. American families embraced pigs in a blanket for their adaptability. For cocktail parties, smaller sausages were preferred, often paired with creative dips like honey mustard, barbecue sauce, or spicy marinara. For larger gatherings, full-sized franks were used, offering a more substantial snack that didn't require silverware. The crescent roll dough became particularly popular due to its pliability, allowing for creative shapes like twists, spirals, or braids, enhancing the dish's visual appeal and making it more festive. In the 1950s and 60s, cookbooks and magazines highlighted variations of this appetizer, experimenting with ingredients beyond the typical hot dog. Cured meats, cheese-filled sausages, or flavored butters were introduced to elevate the taste. This appetizer was not just limited to American cuisine. International spins featured ingredients like bratwurst, kielbasa, or spicy chorizo, bringing new flavor dimensions to the table. Another interesting twist was the use of sweet components to balance the savory sausage, such as brushing the dough with maple syrup or honey. This created a perfect blend of sweet and salty, a flavor profile that still resonates in contemporary cooking. Modern updates to pigs in a blanket have also explored healthier options, with gluten-free doughs or plant-based sausages becoming mainstream, reflecting evolving dietary preferences while retaining their nostalgic charm. Number 5. Stuffed mushrooms. Stuffed mushrooms became popular during the 1960s and 70s as a go-to hors d'oeuvre, known for their elegance and adaptability. They were typically served at cocktail parties, formal dinners, and holiday gatherings, offering a rich, savory bite that could be made to fit any occasion. What made them stand out was the wide range of fillings and variations possible, from breadcrumbs mixed with herbs to more luxurious ingredients like crab meat, bacon, cream cheese, or sausage. The base of a stuffed mushroom was typically the white button mushroom chosen for its size and shape, which made it easy to fill and serve. In addition to the variety of fillings, the stuffing itself was often seasoned with garlic, onions, parsley, and a mix of cheeses like Parmesan or mozzarella, adding layers of flavor. To ensure the mushrooms retained their structure but became tender, the caps were typically pre-baked or sautéed before stuffing, preventing them from becoming too watery during the final bake. The result was a tender, juicy mushroom cap with a flavorful filling and often a crispy topping of breadcrumbs or grated cheese that browned in the oven. Stuffed mushrooms weren't just about flavor, they were also about presentation. The appetizers were often arranged on silver platters, garnished with fresh herbs or a drizzle of olive oil to enhance their appearance. Their bite-sized nature made them perfect for mingling at parties, with guests easily able to eat them in 1 or 2 bites. Hosts appreciated their make-ahead potential, as they could be prepared in advance and baked just before serving, making them a convenient yet impressive appetizer. While classic recipes typically focused on Italian-inspired flavors, variations evolved to suit regional tastes. For example, in the southern U.S., some versions included spicy sausage or smoked meats, while Mediterranean takes added olives, sun-dried tomatoes, and feta cheese. Modern adaptations have expanded to include vegetarian and gluten-free versions using ingredients like quinoa, nuts, and dairy-free cheeses. Number 6. Aspic. Aspic, a savory gelatin dish, was a popular appetizer from the 1930s to the 1960s, embodying both the creativity and elegance of mid-century dining. It involves suspending various ingredients like meats, vegetables, seafood, or eggs in a clear, savory gelatin made from broth or consommes. Its use as an appetizer can be traced back to French haute cuisine, where aspic was an indicator of a chef's skill due to the precision required in flavor balancing and decorative presentation. The shimmering, jewel-like appearance of aspic made it a stunning centerpiece for parties, banquets, and high society gatherings. Aspic offered versatility and a way to enhance leftovers or inexpensive cuts of meat. It was often molded into elaborate shapes, from rings and domes to fish or poultry molds, turning a simple dish into a showpiece. Clear gelatin, traditionally made from beef or veal stock, could be flavored with wine, herbs, and spices, adding depth to the dish. The visual appeal of aspic lay in the layering of colorful vegetables, meats, and sometimes eggs, which were carefully arranged before the gelatin was poured. When sliced, these aspics revealed intricate mosaic-like designs that showcased the ingredients' colors and textures. Aspic was also prized for its preservative qualities. Encasing meats and other perishables in gelatin helped protect them from air exposure, thereby extending their shelf life in an era before modern refrigeration. This practical aspect, combined with the novelty of its form, contributed to its widespread popularity. During festive occasions like holidays and weddings, aspics would often include luxury ingredients like lobster, foie gras, or caviar, giving them a decadent edge. The flavors of aspic were balanced to be subtle yet savory, as the gelatin added both a smooth texture and a hint of umami. It was served cold, providing a refreshing contrast to warm dishes in multi-course meals. Aspic appetizers could be paired with crisp salads, pickled vegetables, or fresh herbs to enhance the tasting experience, making them ideal for a sophisticated starter course. Modern perceptions of aspic have shifted, and it's largely viewed as an outdated or even strange dish, in part due to changing tastes and culinary trends that favor more straightforward presentations and flavors. However, it is experiencing a niche revival among chefs who appreciate its retro appeal and the artistic challenge of creating an eye-catching gelatin mold. With renewed interest in traditional preservation methods and nose-to-tail cooking, aspic has the potential to make a comeback, albeit in modernized forms that emphasize bold flavors, smaller portions, and innovative presentations.